Hello. Alright folks, in this video we're going to look at simplifying fractions, or at least manipulating fractions in various ways. So, if we have a fraction, let's say 3 over 5, we can change this fraction to be different numbers, but it represents the exact same amount. So if we multiply or divide the top and the bottom number of the fraction by anything in the world, let's say 7, then we get the exact same fraction again, except it's got different numbers in it. But it has to be the same number that we multiply by on the top and on the bottom. So the numerator 3 is getting multiplied by 7. 3 sevens are 21. And the 5, the denominator, is getting multiplied by 7 as well. 5 sevens are 35. So 21 35ths is exactly the same as 3/5. And that works with division as well. If we divide the top and the bottom number by any number, we get the exact same fraction again. So after timesing the top and the bottom by 7, 3/5 looks like 21 35ths, and those two fractions, 3/5 and 21 35ths, are exactly the same. They're the same amount. If you cut a pizza into 5 and you eat 3 of them, it's the same as cutting it into 35 and eating 21 of them. It's the same amount of calories. Alright, let's do another example. Let's say we've got, let's do division. So let's say we've got 210 over 240. That's 0, not a 6. Alright, so both of these numbers, 210 and 240, they're both in the 10 times tables. So we could divide the top number by 10, but we have to do the same to the bottom. We have to divide the bottom number by 10 as well. 210 divided by 10 is 21. 240 divided by 10 is 24. Alright, so what we've actually done there is simplified 210 over 240 to 21 24ths. So that is simplifying a fraction. That's how you simplify a fraction. You divide the top and the bottom number by a number. Something that goes into both of them. Think of what times tables are 210 and 240, and they're both in the tens, so we divide by 10. To fully simplify it, we need to do that again, and we need to make sure that it can't go any further. Basically, we're making these two numbers as small as they possibly can be, 210 and 240. They've gotten quite small now. We've got 21 and 24. That's a lot smaller than numbers in the hundreds, but we want to make them small as we possibly can. So what we do is we check the 2s, the 5s and the 10 times tables. Are the numbers both in the 2s or the 5s or the 10s? We've already used the 10s, but we might be able to use them again. But 21 and 24, they're not in the 10 times table, so we can cross that one off. 21 and 24, they're not in the 5 times table, so we can cross that one off. And they're not in the 2 times tables. 24 is, but 21 isn't, so we can cross that one off. Next, we'll look at the rest of the prime numbers up to 12, so that would be 3, 7 and 11, and we just go through those. Once we've done that, chances are, if there's nothing that goes into 21 and 24, chances are that's as simple as it'll get. Maybe there's a bigger prime number that goes into both of them, but after checking those, we've checked all the prime numbers up to 12. If you want, I suppose you could check 13, but you don't really have to. Anyways, let's go through these. So 3 is 21 and 24 in the 3 times tables. Well, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, they're both in there. So that means we have to divide 21 by 3 and divide 24 by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Now 7/8 is the final answer if the question is to fully simplify 210 over 240. One more really quick example. Let's say 35 over 48. Actually, 49. There we are. 35 48ths doesn't simplify. 35 49ths does though. Alright, so 35 over 49. So the checks first, we check the 2s, the 5s and the 10s. They're not in the 2 times tables because they're both odd. They're not in the 5 times tables. 35 is, but 49 isn't, and neither of them are in the 10 times tables. So next we check the 3s, 7s and 11s. They're not in the 3 times tables, so we can cross that one off. Are they in the 7s? 35 is, 49 is, they're both in the 7 times tables, so we divide them both by 7. So 35 divided by 7, that equals 5. 49 divided by 7, that equals 7. So 39 45ths simplifies to 5/7, and that's it. That's the final answer. We should probably check to make sure it doesn't simplify anymore. So 5/7, is there any number that goes into 5 and also goes into 7? Well, they're both prime numbers, and with them being both prime numbers, that means we can't simplify it anymore. If one of them was a prime number, maybe we could, but if both of them are prime numbers, then we can't simplify it anymore if they're both different prime numbers.